Episode 4 of me playing Oxygen Not Included. Today we're going to create a fire pole. And we're going to do that because I'm currently generating oxygen and I've got a lot of food on the go. And essentially, the strategy I have, if you're generating enough oxygen and food, you should be optimizing your base as much as possible. Now, speaking of fire poles, we need research in order to actually be able to do that. So let's have a look here. What do I need to do research? I need to go through brute force refinement, then get to refined renovations, so then I can build a fire pole. But I can't do this research until I get ability to do advanced research, which I need down here in advanced research. That allows me to build a supercomputer, which I'm going to put right here next to the light. Someone can be upgraded. That's minor, easy decision, hard digging. Let's go for that. Alright, so while research happens on this supercomputer, I'm also going to need lots of metal to buy, or build rather, a fire pole. So let me just cut out some little pieces of copper. So we've got copper ore being cut out there. I'm going to need a lot more than that. Let's go in this direction. And I'm gonna dig out all of this. You know what? I'm even gonna go to priorities, and I'm gonna tell miner. So one of the last tasks they typically do if they don't have anything else is they do digging at the end. So I'm gonna tell the miner to prioritize on digging, just them. I'm gonna do the same thing for scientists, except for they're gonna research. That's a high priority anyway, so I don't really need to do that, but that's fine. I'm also going to clear out an area where I want the fire pole to be. So that's right here. So okay, I'm going to pause it. So I am now able to build my supercomputer. I'm going to put that right there. That is going to be our stopping factor of whether we can research. So I'm going to put that as slightly higher priority. I'm then going to mark the refined renovations to be researched. So what's going to happen when I do get this fire pole is it'll go right next to my ladder, and instead of having the duplicates slowly climb down when they want to go down, they can just drop on the fire pole. Hence optimizing my travel, at least in the downward direction. Alright, hold on here. Actually, no, we're fine because they're researching something that only has basic research. But I want to make sure scientists doesn't do research on one of these machines. Rather, I want them focused on the supercomputer because they're the only ones that has the skill to be able to do that, at least at this point. I've got the ability to choose someone. This one can't do research, decreased agriculture. They can do supply, rocket, and cooking. This one does digging, rocket, and supply. This is actually a pretty good one to have for like travel. So I'm going to call them rocket. They can't do doctoring. I'm not concerned about that. People won't get sick. At least that's the hope. Okay, so yeah, Rocket's just joined the team. We now have 5 people, so let's talk about schedules briefly. I generally only have 4 people to any given schedule. I'll just pause it very quickly, because what I'm going to do here is I'm going to replicate the same schedule I have in the main schedule, except it's going to be offset. Let's see. How do I want to do this? I think I missed by 1. Let me just clean that up. So the idea here is I'm going to put Rocket in this schedule. Perfect. Actually, they've got a pretty nice deal. They're just arriving and going to break to bed. Good for them, but it doesn't matter to me. But essentially, the idea is I only need to have 4 toilets, 4 showers, and I also have the ability that while some of my crew is sleeping, at least Rocket and future duplicates will be able to work at night. So that's excellent. I've got 5 people. I've got 5 tables, 5 cots, so I'm fine to support them. going to be burning a little bit more food quicker, but I don't think that's going to be an issue because we're going to move to a food project soonish in one of these episodes coming up. Otherwise, we are going to be in trouble. Alright, so you notice Rocket here is staying up at night. They're just waking up, whereas before nothing was happening, so that's excellent. Eventually they should be getting to generating power.
So do I have this marked? Just checking if I have some of these wild plants.
I'm going to actually even dig out to this area. Might as well take advantage of the wild plants. So each one of these is 1/4 of one of these over here. Alright, so let me have a quick look here. So now they're on refine renovations, and I mentioned that I want to make this a higher priority. So I'm going to mark that as being a higher priority because I want scientists to be over here, and I want one of the other duplicants here. Now, in order to do that, I just need to move them. I technically don't need to move them right on the supercomputer, but I just need to move them away. Because what's going to happen, they're going to move there. They're going to check the priorities. They will see that this one is a higher priority, and scientists will get over here. So I can have 2 other people that don't have the research ability working on basic research while the scientist is over here. So that is excellent. We carved out some metal to build this thing. We're doing our final research to be able to create our fire pole. And once we have that, which I think at the end of today we'll have the technology to build it, and next cycle we'll finish building it, and I will consider that a success if that's the case. So let's, future Jer, when we fast forward this next little bit, and I'll see you on the other side. Alright, so we have just completed our research to be able to build a fire pole. It's almost towards the end of the day, so I think they'll be able to start construction, but likely not be able to actually finish it. Now, my goal eventually is to have this fire pole go pretty much right to the top and bottom of the base. But for this phase of the game, I don't necessarily need it to go that far to get a good amount of optimization. I just want it to go a good distance up and down. And I believe tomorrow next cycle anyways, that should be complete. So the first little piece was actually installed. Maybe if we're lucky, Rocket will do a little bit work while I sleep. Otherwise, I think next cycle will be done. So we'll see. I'll fast forward again. One little note, they're just happy to get to bonus building this thing because these little guys happen to be in the area. I don't tend to worry about shining light where they're building, but it's just nice early on in the game you get these shining bugs. Another note, you'll notice that we've got some liquid down there. Where the heck is that coming from? Well, we've tapped into this cold area that has ice. Not too worried about that because it's falling down here. If this was it was falling down here, the polluted water, if that gets in this area, that's quite annoying because I'm going to have to filter out water if that were to happen. But as long as that water has and ice has the ability to fall down there, I'm not so concerned. And I'll also notice that I've got abyssalite down here, which the miner cannot currently dig through. They'll be able to do that in the future. I could either, at this point, go around, or I'll probably just wait till they have that ability, as I don't really need to get down here at the moment. I am out of metal ore, though, so I will cut out a few more pieces, just so that we can try to get this done by the end of the cycle, and then move on to a different project on cycle 9. Alright, it looks like they're cold. I suspect that was from down here. What temperature is it? 13 degrees. Working down here is going to be difficult because we've got carbon dioxide, and obviously they freeze when they get in there. We'll deal with the carbon dioxide later. I think the pole being down that far is enough at this point. So one thing to have a note about is wherever you build something, have a general idea of where the material is to build it, because they're going to have to make a trip from there to the location to be able to actually drop it off before they actually do the build. But you know what? Coming up to the end of the cycle, we have the fire pole covering most of the base. I'm going to consider that as a success. I'm going to leave this to be built later on when they've got time. And let's move on to cycle 9 where we do a next project. This is Jared signing out, and I'll see you there.